Trout Museum of Art is on the lookout for a new location to call home.
This comes after the museum announced it would not be relocating to a new facility at Ellen Kort Peace Park as originally planned. The Appleton City Council voted 8-7 this past October to allow the museum to continue discussing plans to build that new facility at the park, a plan which was met with backlash. Members of the local community attended the meeting, saying this building would not only take attention away from the park, but also there would not be enough space for it. The museum's executive director, Christina Turner, says that they are prepared to take the next steps for the museum.
We have several areas that we're looking at. Currently, we're not ready to discuss them yet, but when we are, we look forward to making those announcements.
Members of the Trout Museum staff also indicate they're prioritizing for the new location to stay in Appleton's downtown area.